them back. A terrific way to promote community safety and crime prevention through the Vic Safe motto of Partnerships Against Crime. Doing it again in '93 with VFA football.
Some interesting matchups, Phil, and I see the big man, doesn't he look in fine fettle? Last year's Liston Trophy winner, Joe Regolo. Big Stephen Venner got a big assignment there in midfield. And that all-important engine room tussle. Just looking at the respective matchups, and I guess tactics will play a very pertinent role, Philip.
Yes, I see Ian Rickman's right up at the centre line at the moment. The gun full forward.
Hasn't he thrown the Prettig and died away this year?
Certainly has.
Certainly has beefed up a bit, Ian.
Well, it's Sandringham who are going from left to right to start off the season. Williamstown away through Johansson. Pass up to Pastore. Lovely use of the body. And Tony Pastore can celebrate his 27th birthday yesterday with the first goal of the season inside the first 30 seconds. He is shooting from 45 metres, 45-degree angle, so quite an assignment. Comes back beautifully. What a start for the Seagulls.
That was a tremendous goal, and the wily old campaigner just as...
But Sandringham looked to get into attack for the first time. Mark Williams, quick hands. Mitchelson's kick, Cracker being swamped. They all have trouble judging it. Andrew Cracker. He was off with it before he had full control of it. Ends up with Andrew Cracker. This will hit somebody of his own team as usual. A very strong mark taken there by Peter Ryan. And injury early on there for Andrew Manning. Use of the body was good there from Ford. Couldn't hold the mark though. And Williamstown sweep it away. Stephen Simons around Michael Ford. Long kick. Zamical spoiled. Ball stays in play. Peter Sikaski has plenty of backup. There's Kellaway, best and fairest for Sandringham. O'Connor spoons the ball out. Tap through towards McTaggart, who lays a perfect tackle. Breaks down to Zamical. Quick hands off to Venner. Into the pocket for Ghazi. He and Garrett. That's a good race.
Poor option, Peter, by Venner. You know, that was just no percentages there. Passing out the Ghazi, leading towards a pocket. There's the coach, Barry Round.
They've put a bit of thought into this game too, Sam, the Willie Brains Trust.
Zukaski through half back. Being pretty direct towards centre half forward. There's Gould, and now the ghost Howlett. Back to Gould. Had to get rid of that quickly. Going in Mitchelson, Johansson. And finally Anthony Allen, the captain of the Zebras. The Premier's wide. And under pressure there was Koenig. A good tackle. Going in strongly, Gould for Williamstown.
Terrific bump from Gould, and he's laid his opponent out there.
It's been a fine passage of play. You know, they've been very, very intense, and the tackling's been a feature of the game. And, you know, the skill level is extremely high at this early stage.
The tackling, Sam, a feature. And
Cracker it was, yes.
And in very trying conditions. It's very warm out there today.
Manning to Mitchelson. Long 2-on-1. Rickman pushing against Regolo. Howlett. Simons. Bit of space. Steady through Venner. Off to Koenig. Kicking wide in front of Zamical on centre wing. Outer side. Gets around Angus. There's Rickman into the picture. Long way from goal. Flips it out towards Ghazi, who's inside 50. Tight in the pocket. Swings it back. Pastoria push. No. And a mark on Bailey.
There's one thing about Pastore. He's a pretty classy operator, Ross, isn't he? He just used the body, held his ground there, and we'll see it as Bailey comes back, coaches do. And he's done a lot of thinking here. And Pastore gets his second. He put Rickman up to the midfield, and Rickman has played there before, about in the mid-80s when he crossed to Willie. Did a few stints in the centre. And Frank Regolo there. Good handball to Bailey, over to Clarkson. Just on the tackle. Been a good contest. Frank Regolo there against Hoare at the full forward spot. And there was bit of a push out, and Michael Ford back onto it after shoving hard at putting the ball through. Johansson again, beautiful pass, yeah. And Rickman, I was talking to, smart. He's going to kick on his left foot. Decides got all the time in the world, puts it through on the right. As Peter G was saying, earlier, this is a very, very good game of football. Great pressure. People often think first up sides are underdone, but these days footballers train for long periods of time, work hard in the off-season. There's Rickman, a big kick. We'll see the Rover Garrett here fly from the back, and all coaches will tell the small players to stay on the deck, and that is a rule that has not changed with time. And Garrett found out that he should have stuck to that rule.
Anthony Allen played a terrific sweeping role, and Manning, that was superb play, you know, and a perfect kick to Regolo, who just doubled back on Hoare, and that's been a fine contest between the youngster, the newcomer Hoare, and the veteran.
But Vonnier was nowhere near him. Clarkson, time to steady and kick long. Sitting at the back, Paul Dimatina. Oh! One of the marks of the day so far from the youngster.
You'll see this Troy Maloney really should have backed back into Dimatina there to stop him having the jump.
Oh, squeezes it in. Second goal to Paul Dimatina.
And didn't Manning sum up the options beautifully there, Sam? You would have liked that as a leaping forward to see him.
We just see it here.
The
It makes the
opportunity.
task so much easier. The kicking to the forwards has been superb. Look at Dimatina's mark.
You see Troy Maloney there, Sam, got no sense of Dimatina at all, has he? But he should have known he was going to have the leap. He should have backed right in.
Well, Paul Dimatina there, certainly an early contender for the HBA mark of the day, and Maloney's going to try and rough him up a little bit, but right through the season we'll be selecting a mark and goal of the day. We'll be picking 3 contenders for each category today. We'll show them to you next week, and we'll give you a 0055 number that you can then phone to register your vote. And if you agree with our experts here on what was the goal and the mark of the day from this round 1 encounter, then you will be in the running to win $750 worth of insurance products from HBA. So keep an eye out today for what you think might have been the mark and goal of the day, and we'll give you the contenders again next week, and you can make your vote. There's the ball going wide. Bill Swan gets his first possession for another season in VFA football. The kick forward from Chris Smith, playing his first game of VFA football. So there is the long and the short of it between those 2 men in their respective lengths of careers. It was Angus who got caught the first time. Another chance. Hands off to Lambert. Dimatina spoilt. Cracker. Oh, his body went one way, his hands went the other. He got it to Ford, who squares it. Howlett takes the mark. A free kick anyway. Hands off to Maloney. Right down the middle, Troy Maloney. Kick beats everybody. Bailey out wide. Dimatina got an acre here. Can flip it over the top to Mitchelson. McTaggart will try and run him down. Mitchelson was wanting a forward mark. It's going to bounce through. It's a goal to Williams. No, his foot was over the line.
Off the knee, above the knee. And, the likes of Callaway, Mitchelson and Andrew Cracker on the forward line having a picnic.
Manning's goal there. Some of the first gamers for Sandy seem to have added something.
They've done very well, Peter. Actually, their entire contingent of newcomers are doing very well. Dimatina, Manning, I like the look of Manning. He's very classy act across half forward, and Frank Regolo, the 4 forwards, also done very well. And I guess Williamstown were in a catch-22 position by dropping Andrew Howlett back from centre half back. They lost a lot of drive. He was doing very well against Ford, and of course Joe Regolo in the second term just reigned supreme. And it was that all-important engine room which really is the difference between the 2 sides. Callaway, Mitchelson, Cracker, the brilliant Cracker. Look at Lachlan Callaway here breaking out and always finds a target. Tremendous work ethic. And there are the stats, Phil.
Yes, well, the kicks.
What are you going from that?
Sandringham's favour.
Mentioned the 15-goal thrashing last week when they capitulated in the second half of the Foster's Bitter Special Cup for the pre-season. Well, now it's the real thing. Sandringham totally different.
This guy on screen just had a brilliant third term, Andrew Manning. Just a consummate forward he is. Reads the play so very well. Brilliant skills and strengths on both sides of the body, and this guy's weaved his wizardry during that term too, and tremendous vision always displayed by Cracker. Never wastes a possession. On this occasion found big forward, and from 45, 50 drilled it truly. But they've really continued from where they left off at half-time, completely dominating proceedings, in particular across midfield, Phil.
Yes, Sam, they're very sharp in that midfield. They use the ball well. Of course, the big bloke, Joe Regolo, been on top all day. Paul Dimatina Good opening for the Zebras. And really, that should have been, so there's another player should have been manned up. Chris Garrett, good long kick. They're a good side, Sandy. Going to take a lot of beating for the big one. Ian Rickman being quiet, Chops. Played in the midfield early, back to full forward.
They threatened to come back at one stage about the middle of that third term with 2 or 3 quick goals. You'll see one here from Zamigel via an indiscretion by Big Joe. A snap truly. Another forward sortie by Williamstown.
Need him in the game.
Yeah, they need him badly.
Not doing enough, and you compare him with Joe Regalo.
Yes, to Smith, and it was good to see. I was happy for the kid here. Kicked truly from about 50 metres. Hasn't had the best of games, hasn't enjoyed a good game, but on that occasion, kicked truly. Hurried kick forward. This is a wonderful mark by Peter Sikorsky. The quarter time battle, and you know, what can you say about the game? They're just far too big, too talented, too strong, and just had winners all over the field. After a relatively even first term, they completely dominated proceedings in midfield, where Joe Regolo, this guy on screen, Andrew Crack, I'm a tremendous fan of his. You know, he just used the ball so very well. Frank Regolo, whilst kicking 4 goals, I thought was well held by Andrew Howlett, who's one of the few bright lights on the Williamstown side in conjunction with Andrew Lloyd. But they had fine midfielders in Callaway, Mitchelson. We mentioned Andrew Cracker. They had a strong and certainly a tough and uncompromising defence led by Angus and Argus. I thought Allen was a tremendous sweeper, tidying up everything across half back, and they linked together so very, very well. They were a little bit more proficient, I felt, in terms of their ball handling. They were the fitter side, although it always appears that you're fitter when you're controlling the ball. Williamstown, by comparison, always, you know,
yeah, when you're chasing jumpers, you look slow, don't you?
You do look very slow, and nothing really worked for them. You know, Pastore looked good in the opening minutes, and Rickman